Member for Kimberley.
Thank you. First of all, in my valedictory speech, I'd like to thank my mother, Winyana, for instilling in me the knowledge and wisdom of her culture based on respect. I never knew who my father was, so I was raised by a single mum. In my inaugural speech, when I first came to Parliament in 2013, I said that I stood here proudly elected, proudly black and proudly woman. That was almost 8 years ago. And despite the many changes that have occurred throughout my journey in politics, I can still stand here today and say I stand here proudly elected, proudly black and proudly woman. On that day in 2013, I brought Gija, which is my first language, and Creole to Parliament for the first time. There have been so many achievements throughout my terms that I'm very proud to have been a part of. No matter how big or small the achievements or amount involved, each is just as important as the other. Achievements are measured in ways other than money. There may have been things that I said and caused that I pushed that people didn't want to hear or deal with, and I make no apology for that. If my achievements saved lives and made a difference to people's lives, then I stand proud. I would like to say it is with sadness that I speak today. For me, here on this old hill, where this beautiful building known as the Parliament sits on. When I first came here in 2013, I could feel the spirits of people who have lived and existed in and around this area for thousands of years. I'd like now to speak in Gija. Kolangan, Yurunga, Parliament ji, Road Yuran Gili, Jarak Jarak Gili, Ngananga, Ngayan, Jarak Nganan, Lirgan Garambi, Waringaram, Kadiangambi, and Kapijarambi, Yagangarambi. I say Turkbuna, Ranga, Lirgan. In English, I said, now today, we, us as members of Parliament, sitting, we are together, all. I speak, and we shall be together here in this place. Myself, I talk, and I do find myself here to try and educate and teach so that people can know and understand all of us together. Kariambi, which is the white people, and Manambari, that's the non-Aboriginal, the Aboriginal people. Kabijarambi, whoever else, Yagangaram, including others. And Duk, to look and see, and Ranga, to listen, and Lirgan, to teach and educate. Bipartisan agreement for First Nations West Australians to be recognised as the first West Australians in our state's constitution. And I'm proud that I led the change to ensure the Aboriginal flag flies proudly here at Parliament and that our chamber opens proceedings each day with an acknowledgement of country. In 2016, following the tragic deaths of 13 young Aboriginal people in the Kimberley, I instigated a parliamentary inquiry into Aboriginal youth suicide, which resulted in learnings from the message stick. The report of the inquiry into Aboriginal youth suicide in remote areas. This report led to the state government's commitment to Aboriginal youth wellbeing, a new framework to improve the outlook and resilience of young Aboriginal West Australians in the Kimberley and across WA. What also I happened to do is changes to domestic violence and helped with the legislation. $19.3 million to upgrade Broome Senior High School, some of the achievements, $9.2 million to establish a comprehensive alcohol and other drug youth centre in the Kimberley. $9.7 million to funding to upgrade boating facilities at Entrance Point and Town Beach. So they were some of the achievements, and significant funding to address crime and youth justice issues in the Kimberley, including $900,000 to deliver the Kimberley Juvenile Justice Strategy to find alternatives to detention and services aimed at diversion. $43.6 million towards the improvement of the Gibb River Road, and $1 million for the much-needed Kimberley Mobile Dialysis Unit. $2 million for a new police and citizen centre in Kununurra, and 2 remote pools, which I'm very proud of, because one is in Balgo, where there's no river, and those kids have to wait until the next rain comes along so that they can have a bit of, wetness. And the other one was in Columbia. So that was, I think, the highlight of my achievements. 2020 was a very challenging year with the unprecedented COVID-19 pandemic, not only for Western Australia, but worldwide. Remote Aboriginal communities and the Kimberley were the first places to be isolated from the rest of the state. Being a member of the highest risk sector of the community, I was unable to attend Parliament or travel outside of Halls Creek, despite adverse comments from local media. And I'm extremely proud of what was achieved by not only myself, but my office in dealing with a very concerned, large and remote electorate. Many distressed constituents, unable to work and separated from loved ones, and an extremely heavy workload in extremely difficult circumstances. I would like to thank the Premier's office for their regular updates, assistance and information during this time. Ministers and backbenchers, the Speaker of the House, Watson, who may be related to a few of my grandkids who've got the same surname. So, it's just incredible what you find. There are many, many people I would like to acknowledge and thank for their incredible support, advice and friendship throughout my time in Parliament. Some of these are my new friends in Parliament over the last 4 years in government. A big thank you to Chris Bailey for doing a portrait of me that hangs in the Parliament. In government, I would like to thank my secretary and staff who's there today and who has made things a lot easier when times was in turmoil. And so thankful for your support, and the other staff member who working tirelessly, even though she was having another new member added to her family, Kamaya, who now gave birth on the 3rd of November to a boy who I was given the privilege of giving an Aboriginal name from my language, and I named him Gurjal, which translates to firefly, because of the time his mum spent, even after hours, still doing work for me in my office. Thank you both. Congratulations, Kevin, the dad, proud father, for my appreciation in being able to name his child. My appreciation to my granddaughter, Siobhan Willenmere, for being here today. Sorry I couldn't have my family here today. My husband, Mario, could not be here. He's a scared person. He wouldn't fly on the plane. But he's here in spirit. Robin Clark, Claire and Mima, and most employees in this place. I thank security for making sure I got home safely after late sittings. I'd also like to thank chefs who helped by making kangaroo available on the menu for me. To Anthony and Leah for giving me hot chocolate during the cold winter times. And also a thank you to my husband for being there for me, children and grandchildren. The friends I have worked with in here, no matter which party you belong to, so each and every one of you, and the committees I've worked with have been wonderful. I will leave Parliament knowing I made a difference, especially my passion on suicide. I will now speak in Gija some of the Lord's Prayer. Ngabuñ lana yuro tekpana yurunga kolangan ngananga road yaran Parliament. Arak pana lergan and yurunga menga buro wanyanyagambe welanga jarini penara kirambe. What I've said there in Gija is reciting part of the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, up above in heaven, look down, see us all here in this house. Today we are sitting here, we are in Parliament. Make do to educate, teach and learn all of us together. Make good for them and all our children as they come before us. and to make them understand. That's the prayer to God. So, Warringa, enough of that. Amen.